Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of our Solo Survivor series. This will be episode number 9. A lot happened in the last episode. I know we kind of just brushed through that. Most of it was just me grinding through some of the event bosses. It is still the tail end of the event. Today and tomorrow are the last days of the event, but we're not actually too worried about it. I'm just kind of looking forward to the end of the event. I want to show you guys kind of what this character is going to be like fighting Xtractus bunker bosses, not event bosses, because that's a lot different. And so I figured we'd just talk a little bit about kind of what happened with that while we attempt to do this mission, which may take us forever. So likely I won't show you guys all of this. But I figured I'd just kind of explain kind of what happened. I, of course, in my grinding, was not worried too terribly much about recording, so I definitely missed a lot of things. One of which was I did get a loot pumpkin box that gave me the CC-12 shotgun here, which is the new event version of the AA-12. It does a little bit more damage per pellet. It also shoots 2 additional pellets per shot, so it shoots 10 instead of 8. On the base damage, I believe, is like 11. Or no, the base damage is 12 per pellet. I believe the standard AA-12 is 11 per pellet. But since you get the 2 extra pellets, you actually do a significantly amount more damage than the standard AA-12. It doesn't have any requirements, so I actually could have gotten away without any shotgun proficiency whatsoever. So far, it's been a pretty decent shotgun. I actually had found my first one on my other secondary account, which I've almost gotten to level 200 for Dusk this event. By the end of the event, I should reach level 200 on it for Dusk. But I've been using this shotgun on that one. I ended up picking this one up in the first week of the event on that account. And I've been using that this whole time, and it actually has been pretty decent, for a no-requirement shotgun. Yeah, you're not putting out the world's fastest DPS, but the crowd control on it is actually pretty decent for a shotgun that only requires some strength. So if you have 50 strength in any build, like this build here, I did try to mastercraft this 2 or 3 times to get the stats a little bit better. But we've got that. Man, forgot how much it takes to heal with crappy meds. But yeah, so overall, been pretty decent shotgun. I've just been kind of tossing it in a little bit where, I want to get some kills a little quicker than just hitting with melee weapons, which is rather slow. Obviously, there's no way I'm getting that pumpkin backpack. I forget what it is. The Jacko backpack, that's what it is. The Jack-o'-lantern backpack. I'm still like, I don't know, like 6,000 kills away from that. So yeah, that's obviously not happening, as you can see how slow it is trying to kill things. And obviously, I have to loot all my ammo for this one, so to get that amount of ammo to do this is just not going to happen. So anyway, I think we'll kind of skip to the end of this, and then we're actually on our way to go do some looting in the Xtractus chemical plant, now that we are level 75. Once we do that a few times, I think we may try to go back to Death Row now that we're, at more of an equipable level. So you guys just sit back, relax, and we'll catch back up at the end of this mission. Alright, we ran out of 12 gauge, which was quite a while ago. I started with 400 grenades, and that's about how many I've shot off so far, which, as you can tell, is not very quick pace. But anyway, there we go. We have completed our mission. We're going to head back to Xtractus bunker and get our level up from that mission experience. And then we're going to go catch up with you guys once... So we're going to head back to Xtractus bunker and get our level up from our mission experience. And then we're going to go do some looting in the chem plant. We'll catch back up with you guys there. Alright, so we're back to Xtractus bunker here. We got 1 level up. We're going to keep pushing our decks as we're getting close. We're just going to run our machine gun probably to 120 as well. And then we'll probably keep going towards explosives until we also hit 120 there. So we're just going to make sure all our gear is fixed up, ready to go, and we'll catch up with you guys at the chemical plant. Alright, we've made it into the chemical plant. There is a boss outside, so we'll definitely be in here for a little while. So just like my actual looting guide for in here, I recommend you keep the speed boost bars for traveling back and forth. if you're not doing a hardcore Ironman, I highly suggest the Leaper Express after you barricade for faster means of travel. If you guys don't know what that is, you need to just play a little bit longer. You'll figure it out. It's usually the fastest means of travel back to the base from usually southeast end zone. Nobody wants to make that run home. So usually I'll save if I'm in, playing like this where I don't have a bunch of implants for speed boost and stuff like that. I like to save the energy bars for my travel to my destinations, because usually if I'm looting, I have the ability to barricade, so that way I can, I can save my experience and get my level ups. Ooh. Man, I forgot that I need to pay attention in here because I'm not a high level. And it takes 2 or 3 hits again to kill stuff. See if we can't get anything good. Rats are going to be the end of me in here. Yeah, we're going to take everything so I can sell it all. Ooh, we actually just looted that K50M. That'll actually be nice. I think what I'll do is convert that over into the Sea Serpent, which is, I think it's the highest level submachine gun that you can get that has very high critical chance. You'll actually get critical hits just like you would with a melee weapon, 4 out of 5. unless you get all the way up to the Marauder, which is from Raven Ridge and is a 135 weapon. I think they're like 80 mil in the market right now. It's a good submachine gun, but yeah, for now I think since I can loot .50 around the bunker, and it'll be something that I should be able to craft relatively easy. I already have I think I'm just over 100 on machine gun skill after our recent level up. But that'll be a good thing to throw into our arsenal because I'll be able to get, 25, 30 damage per shot, I think, on critical hit out of that submachine gun, which will be pretty, that'll be a little higher damage than what the shotgun can output. Obviously not as good at crowd control, but that's not the end of the world. But we'll see what else we can get. So far, pretty decent for being a non-gold member. I'm actually kind of surprised. The only actual other looting I've done in here besides my main account was during the Nautical Nightmare event. I had a level 80 character, which was actually kind of the trial run I did for this build that used the Tidebreaker from the beginning, essentially. But I did that one as a pure melee build with the Boxer class. So I had plus 25% melee weapon damage and plus 20% damage reduction. So that helped a lot with survivability. I was also a gold member on that one, so I was here in a couple of days of playing, not a couple weeks. But again, I was pumping out a lot more damage. I'm pretty sure I was hitting close to 700 on a crit. I may have even been hitting 750, which is what you need to, oh god, to one-shot all but these guys. No, we don't want to die. I mean, it's been a more successful looting trip than our death row was. Alright, let's go swap armors. Just try not to die. It's a good thing I've played, I've looted in here literally probably at least hundreds of times, but I'd be surprised if I hadn't looted in here 1,000 times at this point. And I've also primarily looted in here actually with melee, actually almost exclusively with melee weapons in here, just because it works the best in my opinion, because there's no range damage, but there are numerous exploding enemies, which melee averts the explosions. So you have less collateral damage, as long as you can maintain not getting hit, you don't really have to worry about the damage from the explosions. So it makes it a lot easier. The only thing I'm not accustomed to is how slow both my movement speed and my attack speed are, because my other account has max dex, and for looting at least, I have plus 18 dex now, plus max dexterity. My combat setup when I'm boss hunting and whatnot has a 35% dexterity boost on max dex stat. So you can imagine that, kills things a lot faster. Ooh, nice. That's a level 110. I'm honestly surprised to find something like that in here as a non-GM. I mean, I know, like, I'm not level capped for it. I just... There's times I come in here on my, you know, my main account that has 400% looting boosts, and, you know, over 500% on events. And I've had runs through here where I've not even found a green. And I mean, likely I'll probably make 2 or 3 runs through here and not find another one. But just to find the one on my first run through is pretty neat. That's some decent luck today. All that for a set of nails. Come on, I know you're coming for me. This is why I like looting with the Tidebreaker as a melee weapon, because sometimes the stun actually, like, breaks the zombies. As you've noticed a few times in this playthrough, like, I'll hit one and then they're just stuck there for, you know, 10 seconds sometimes, it seems like. It makes it a lot easier when you're dealing with big crowds in here, when all of a sudden, you know, half of them are all of a sudden blown away from you and don't respond. The stun effect is a lifesaver in here. Need to stop almost sacrificing myself to get that one last quick loot. I do not recommend looting how I'm currently looting, which is my nonchalant on my high level character that has damage resistance, which is I just kind of loot and kill things as they come. Don't do that. It's a good way to get killed. What I really should be doing is clearing everything I can see and then looting. Especially like this, where if I can focus on them, I can actually kill them in 1 or 2 hits. Ooh. There it is. See if we can't get ourselves another decent weapon out of one of those. Would be nice. I think if I had to pick one or the other, I think I would prefer the rifle. The 5.77 Widow, the upgraded 5.77 Rex, is an absolute monster. Decent attack speed, good damage output, but it also has the slow effect. So as a rifle, it actually works pretty good as a combat rifle. I was using it for a while, again, on my secondary account. It was, again, one of the first weapons I found early on in the event. I forget which looting. I think that was my death row looting guide video. I found that one. But yeah, just a fun rifle to use. Worked good for bandits. Worked good for, you know, crowd control even. And that wasn't even with a critical hit account. You know, that was just it's my soldier class, actually, that strictly uses machine guns and shotguns and just blasts ammo everywhere. Not really worried about experience level up, which is why it's taken me forever to get it up to level 200. We got this. But yeah, so actually, if I could find a Widow for this account, would be so sweet. It would give me actually high damage range Not that I'd use it in here, but it would be nice for some boss fights. The shotgun does good damage, but I don't have the agility to be up close with melee weapons on bigger enemies. And so, that's part of the reason I'm looking forward to when the event is over, so I can do some regular Xtractus bunker bosses and not just super fast event bosses, or of course when you have boss nests, there's usually flaming charred titans. Ooh, we gotta get out of here. We just got an insta-horde. So the best thing you can do in this scenario is, as fast as you can, get out. And I think we're going to luck out because, yes, there's an hourly boss fight here. So actually just going in and out like this resets it. But normally, if there's not an event boss, obviously it'll tick down on you. You know, you drop 20 or 30 enemies each area you go out of, I guess. So normally in that scenario, I recommend you run just back out of the block, because you're back to the dark red zone, which is, you know, not even green irradiated enemies. It's very easy to deal with a horde there at a lower level than it is in here, you know. So there's times I deal with hordes in here looting on my main account, and even then it's still near death sometimes. Alright, that gives us a free barricade set up. So we have tons of nails. Now we have some wooden planks. We've almost looted all the way through here. But there is another event box, so I'm curious if we'll be able to find that. I think I can hear it. Maybe not. I think I might just be nuts. Whatever. I'll try to clear these guys. Now you guys can understand why I think the Tidebreaker is such a great weapon. You know, with literally 50 strength and just 79 crit, you know, no fancy other boosts, no gold membership, I am comfortably able to loot in the Xtractus chemical plant. You know, if you're looking for a looting setup, this really is a great money-making weapon, you know. On my main account, if I make, you know, on average like 5 to 8 runs through here usually, fills most of my inventory, sometimes up to 10 to 12 runs. I know that sounds like a lot, but on that account it only takes me about 15 minutes to go all the way through here. There's over 100 loot spots for me on that main account, and I can usually generate 4 or 5 mil from doing that. And so, I mean, in reality we're talking 2, maybe 3 hours of play, you know, and I'm able to generate that kind of money in here doing these runs. So it really is a good way to make money. You know, obviously as a non-gold member, you're not going to make nearly that kind of money. And I don't have nearly the damage to be able to kill things as fast, or the speed boost to be able to physically move through this building as quick as I can on the primary. But nonetheless, just 25% speed boost, non-gold membership. We just completed looting through here, and it took us... I dilly-dallied a little bit, not a ton. But I would say that took us about 25 minutes. So that's not really that bad as well, you know, that's pretty decent. Now I just have to make it back to where I can barricade myself in. Yeah. It's the downside of being so slow is everything. You know, as you can tell, trying to loot in Raven Ridge itself would be just suicide at this kind of low speed. But the best place to get agility implants is in Raven Ridge, so that's why we loot the chemical plant. It's the closest to Xtractus bunker. It's easy for us to get in and out of without having to deal with that Raven Ridge aggro too much. Ah, nice. 50. Alright, we'll take that. And now, since we're going to be barricading, if we can get anything off of this one, it's just cash anyway, no biggie. Alright, we will probably just give you guys the highlight reels of the next couple of loots. Catch up with you guys after that.